So welcome back to my YouTube channel. My friend Matt Schifferly answering a question today from the RDP mailbag, basically asking, Matt, with your double tap training, which is 2 sets per exercise in a workout, is that going to be enough volume to effectively stimulate hypertrophy and build muscle? And I know where this is coming from because there's a lot of recommendations out there saying if you want to build muscle, you should shoot for somewhere between 8 or 10 sets per week per muscle group on the low end, and roughly around 20 or more sets on the high end of the volume side. So naturally, if you're only doing 2 sets per exercise, let's say pull-ups, and you only do it twice per week, that's only 4 sets. That's not nearly enough volume, isn't it? But to cut to the chase, with double tap training, there absolutely is the potential for more than enough volume to stimulate hypertrophy. But there's a much bigger problem here at stake that we're not addressing that can either cause you to fall way short of effectively getting what you want from your workouts, or wasting a lot of time and energy and effort because you're doing a lot of junk volume. The bottom line is your workouts are not effective because of how much work you put in. It's not effective because of how many sets you do. It's effective because of how much or how strong of a stimulus you're creating. And how much work you put into it is correlated to how strong that stimulus is. But I'm not going to tell someone, yes, if you do a certain number of sets per week, then you're going to effectively create a stimulus for building muscle. And that's because while volume is certainly an important influence, there's a hell of a lot more to the equation than just volume. So you can have a lot of volume and still create a very lukewarm stimulus at best. But at the same time, if you really dial things in, you can create a very potent stimulus with a seemingly low amount of volume. And that's where double tap training really comes into play, because it doesn't focus on volume, it focuses on a stimulus. When you have 2 sets per exercise, you're really putting kind of a pressure cooker on your mental or even emotional self to really have to dig deep and get as much as you can out of each exercise. But even though it's 2 sets per exercise, that doesn't mean you're doing 2 sets per muscle group, because you can certainly do many other exercises for that muscle group. So for example, you could do pull-ups, followed by rows, followed by rear flies, followed by curls, followed by front levers. Okay, we got 5 exercises there. If you've got 2 sets per exercise in a pull chain workout, you're working the same muscles throughout all of that with an emphasis in different parts, but now you're at 10 sets already in a single workout. So you get 2 or even 3 workouts and you've got more than enough volume. And I would even dare say that because you're getting more of a broader stimulus from the different exercises, and you're getting more intensity and you got to get dialed in because you only get 2 chances per exercise, you're going to create a much stronger stimulus, even if you only do 2 or 3 of those exercises per tension chain, your pull chain in this case, than if you just went and did 1,000,000 pull-ups. So the bottom line is, yes, of course, volume is important, but it's not the driving factor. It's whether or not you're challenging your muscular work capacity to a high degree on a consistent basis that's most important. And that's the thing that's the driving force between your ability to build hypertrophy versus doing too much and not enough. Let me know if you have further questions, reddeltaproject@gmail.com. Look forward to hearing from you. Best of luck in your workouts this week. Be fit and live free.